we've got Mr. VK Singh, who's a COO of Blue Jet Healthcare, joining us this morning. Mr. Singh, as always, absolute pleasure having you on the program, pleasure speaking with you. Let's talk about this expansion. When do you see the commercialization take place? What are the implications on earnings?
Thank you, Alex. Thank you very much for having me on your show. It's always a pleasure to be on your show. Alex, if I just step back, I would say that 3 years back, the company inflected. Today, you're aware and we are witnessing, being a part of the industry, that there are tailwinds for India. And the pharmaceutical sector, particularly the API sector, should see some tailwinds, and there are opportunities coming our way. Now, the way we envision the next 10 years for the company, we believe that there are two very critical or essential pivots on which we will be able to blitz scale the business that we have today. One clearly is R&D, and your colleague spoke about the new R&D center that we are building in Hyderabad. We will be doubling our R&D capacity with that new center, and we'll be creating some new platforms over there in the R&D center. The second big pivot for a CDMO company like ours will be the capacity. Now, Vizag is addressing this second pivot, that is capacity. And today, as we speak, there's some work happening over there, and on February 28th, we are doing groundbreaking, which is in a few days from now. And I think, Vizag, that way Andhra Pradesh, given the current political dispensation, is giving us a very expedited approval almost everywhere. It's a very well-developed pharmaceutical ecosystem. The ecosystem for setting up manufacturing capacities is quite compliance ready, a single window. So I would imagine that from groundbreaking to getting the facility to an operational level, we will take anywhere between 2 to 2.5 years.
2.5 years, all right. What specific milestones are you anticipating, or product validations that are between the end of FY27 and FY28 therefore? Because one would assume with this new plant coming through during that time frame, this gets important, doesn't it?
Absolutely, you are spot on. Alex, in the healthcare pharmaceutical segment today, our asset turns are close to 4. Now, this is one of the highest in the industry. While we do admit and we acknowledge that it will not be able to maintain these, but the whole model, the way we try and conceive the business is that our asset turns should be high. One of the ways in which we accomplish is that we try to ensure that the gestation after the facility is production ready or validation ready should not be too high. For that, how do we accomplish that? We accomplish that by, ensuring that the capacities are tailing requirement. And, there is already a client lock-in. So to a very specific answer to your question is that the moment, the common infrastructure is created and the production blocks are created, I think there are certain products that we are already supplying today from our existing capacity, which some volumes will migrate to the new capacity. And given the fact that there are certain, there are a lot of lateral entry opportunities. So we are also tracking to very credible, high conviction lateral entry opportunities, which will kick in very fast because the products are not in any clinical phase, they're commercial.
Yeah.
So the ramp up of production will happen much faster.
Yeah, Mr. Singh, couple of very quick questions. To what extent is the phase 1 capacity already pre-booked or backed by long-term supply contracts, and what are the funding needs that you might have at this moment?
So, Alex, we are in phase 1.
Yeah.
At this point of time, it's a 102-acre plot, so it's a very large site that we have. And today, the board approval that we have is for doing a 1,000 crore capex for only phase 1, where we'll put up about 1,000 KL of capacity. This capacity is going to be distributed on 4 production blocks. 2 production blocks will be dedicated to contrast media, one for the API segment and one for the high intensity sweetener. Now, for the contrast media blocks, we have pretty much a client lock-in. So I would say that the capacity utilization here would be pretty high. For the sweetener block, the high intensity sweetener block, we already have an anchor client, but then the capacity will not be fully utilized. I would say that, when we commence production in about 1 or 2 years of commencement of production, we would be at 40 to 50% capacity utilization. And for the API block, which is a lateral entry case, there again, just like contrast media, the capacity utilization will go to, let's say 80% or whatever, very quickly.
Okay. Mr. Singh, as always, an absolute pleasure having you on the program. Wish you all the best and look forward to speaking to you after the fourth quarter numbers as well, because we'll have lots to parse and lots to talk about even after that.
We wish to invite you to the groundbreaking at Vizag, so we should speak then.
Absolutely, absolutely. We'll talk soon. Thank you so much, Mr. Singh.
Thank you.